All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. I do pray everybody is blessed in Jesus' name, in Yeshua's name. Even if you're not religious, well, may you also be blessed in Jesus' name. Shout out to my man Revy, he says, yo, and shout out to Delinquent, he says, what's good, my dude? Shout out to Cheap Vlog. Second, Soul to the Moon, Anon A, always in the pre-stream, smashing up the like button. Shout out to Splashfire Films. Shout out to Red Elephant. Shout out to Kendall, my man. Shout out to Bill Dog Jr. M. He says, riding the soul train, baby, let's go. Man, we got some altcoins blasting off today. We got Bitcoin doing a bunch of nothing today. As usual, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first 30 minutes of the stream, it's not hard. It's so dang easy. We will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. He says, bring me 50K so we can retest 31K. That would be a gift. That would be a gift. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. He's doing bent over rows as we speak. My man, cannot go wrong with bent over rows. I was doing some bent over rows this morning along with some good old-fashioned bench pressing. Was a great time. Was a great time. Shout out to Mar FLX, Solana going to the sun, WTF. Shout out to Dave Digital in the house. Shout out to Valdemir. 150K looks like 150 mil. Shout out to the Golden Jet. They missed you in the basement, he says. Shout out to Father Time 79. Legs are sore. Everyone hitting the gym today, man. Shout out to Hector. Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to Coin25. A random Indian always wins. Come on, bro. That's not nice. Everyone has a fair chance in this game. Shout out to Preparing for War. Shout out to the Casper crew. Shout out to Mr. T Crypto. Shout out to Usman Ghani Khan. Shout out to Mitchell Cyberg. What is going on? You need some more gardening tips? Well, maybe I'll be making some more homesteading content in the springtime and summer. Shout out to Bullish Vision. Shout out to Fiber Splice God. J-Boy Bullish in the chat again, doing the bent over rows while he's trading Bitcoin. Let's bake some cake, baby. Alright. Shout out to Incognito111. Shout out to Pele Photography, going to the gym, baby. Getting that workout in. That's what I'm talking about, man. Health is wealth, or so they say. That's what they say. Shout out to Robert Houston. Shout out to Chiel. Shout out to Colin Iwata. Yo, let's go. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. His wife is Indian, the native kind. Shout out to SpongeBob Battle Pants and Pike379. Alright, y'all, man. So, look, the Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? We're basically in the same spot we were in yesterday, guys. Still in the schlong trade, long from the low of the range, short from the high of the range. I've obviously got a little bit more exposure on the long side right now than I do on the short side. I closed that long trade yesterday. You guys saw me close 2 trades yesterday. Banked a good amount of profits yesterday. I am very happy with the month of December, I have to say, as far as trading goes. It's been very chill. I've only taken a few trades, and they've been some nice ones. Let's put it that way. Unlike November, where I was scalping the 5-second time frame, eking out those gains. I made more in November, that's for sure, a little bit more. But it was much more stressful, I'll tell you that. Shout out to Ahmed Babar. 1 million is his dream in cryptocurrency. It can't be done, my friend. Do I think 88 has a run? It's altcoin season, brah. Says one Lucho Salazar. Shout out to Tim. Tim says, let's be semicolon, comma, not everyone wants to hear this. It will be less likely Bitcoin can break out before testing 32K, which may happen in the coming weeks or months. Tim, I agree with you, man. I tend to agree with you. Here's the thing. When the drop comes for Bitcoin, it is going to be fast and it is going to be ruthless. And that $30,000 level is absolutely the place that we need to come down and retest. All right. So shout out to Freedom Man. Shout out to Incognito 111. Shout out to R. Shout out to Remington. Shout out to Alex Medeiros and Gaming 2.0 with the smiling yellow trophy. All right, let's take a look quickly at Bitcoin, and then we're going to get into some altcoins, guys. We're going to look at Sol. Actually, why don't we just jump right into Sol? Sol is pumping like a wild lady in distress. Running through the wilderness with a laundry basket on her head looking like Janet Yellen. There's no stopping her right now. She bought the 6-second abs, toned six-pack, still has the triple chin. Because, you know, you can't just train the abs, guys. You also got to do those chin-ups. You got to do those chin-ups. All right, let's check out Sol. Bam! Oh my goodness. Sheesh, guys. All right, so Sol is literally pumping up, like I said, like Janet Yellen, and this is insane. This is absolutely insane. This is crazy. We are going to do some Sol analysis right now, man. All right, so first of all, let's see. Do I have Sol on Exo desktop? No, I don't. I don't. Okay. All right, so let's just take a look at this chart here, and let's see what has happened. Sol, okay? Man, this is absolutely insane. So basically, we had that key level at $75. Let's see. Yeah, it was $75 right around here. And you could see we came into that resistance. We start to form an ascending triangle, and now we are officially breaking out. All right, let's go down to the log scale, because we need to get an overall look at what is happening here. The next major resistance, guys, that we actually do have on Solana is going to be around $130. It's going to be around $130. I know that's crazy, but that is really the next resistance that we have. Now, here's why $75 was such a key level. As we can see, going back to the bull market, you can see that $75 was our resistance in August 2021. And then it was our perfect support in February 2022. And then we lost it. We lost it, and that was it. The fact that we are now back inside of this level is very bullish, because we are now trading back inside the range that we traded during the last bull market. This is pretty significant. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to look at the volume that we traded during that last bull market. Now, notice something. Not only are we back above the level, like this green line that was our clear support resistance flip, but we are now back inside the fair value zone for Solana that we traded back in 2021 and 2022. Which means, just based on volume alone right here, guys, it becomes more probable that we make our way back up to these highs at the top of the range, okay? So let's pull some fibs and let's get a glimpse of what some of our next targets could be, and then we'll actually take a look at the lower time frames and we'll entertain, you know, where would be a good place to buy this thing if it's going to keep pumping. Now, I do need to make a quick disclaimer, as I do every time we look at altcoins that pump. If you are not accumulating SOL at lower prices, you kind of may have missed the boat, right? This happens every single market cycle. People don't pay attention to things until it's too late. And look, when you get a move like this, all right? I mean, in just a few days, another 50%. We just had a 50% move after a 300% move, right? So you have to be thinking to yourself now, if you are going to be looking at SOL as a potential way to make money now, and you don't have SOL already, maybe you should look somewhere else. Because when we just look at this objectively speaking, when we're looking at all-time highs, we're talking a 170% upward potential to hit all-time highs. But if we go back to the low, we're talking about almost 100%, right? That's not really a good risk to reward ratio, especially if we're talking about a spot buy. Now look, could we be entering into a bull market? Yeah, of course, anything's possible. Could Sol in the next week pump up and make a new all-time high? Yeah, of course, anything's possible. But people pay too much attention to coins after they pump, instead of looking at coins that have not yet broken out. And right now there's a lot of coins that are forming bullish patterns, and they're still very, very close to the bear market low price. All right, there's a lot of coins right now that's the equivalent of buying Sol right here. Okay, so don't get caught off guard FOMOing into something that just pumped 300% when, if you weren't already hodling Sol, you probably missed the Sol train. All right, now it doesn't mean we can't still make money, it doesn't mean we can't still pump, but we need to have a realistic attitude about this. Okay, so here's the reality. The next area of resistance that we have for Solana is going to be around $103. This is the next major confluence that we have on the chart. This is the high volume node of the bull market, and it's the 382 Fibonacci from the high to the low. The second major area of resistance that we have for Solana is going to be the 618 Fibonacci golden pocket. That is coming in right around the value area high of the range, right around 160 bucks. Right around 160 bucks. Now, here's what the probabilities are, right? Let's talk about probabilities for Solana right now. The probabilities definitely are that we hit $103. I'd say we're pretty much, I can't say guaranteed, but really, the fact that we have such a bullish breakout over this level means it's more probable than not now we will hit $103. Okay? If we can reclaim 103, and if we can really hold that support, we will get sucked up to around $160. Okay? So if I was looking at Solana right now, and actually, believe it or not, I actually hold a lot of Sol on spot. On Coinbase, I hold quite a bit of Sol that me and my wife, Big Bus 28, bought together back in November of 2022. So I bought a lot of Sol on spot right around here. I haven't sold any yet, but I probably should. I probably should, honestly, and I might actually after this dang stream, because that's in some good profit right now. So, and look, I do believe Sol is absolutely going to go higher. All right, that's one of the reasons why I haven't sold any altcoins. I believe that when the bull market happens, we're going to surpass all-time highs. Okay, I do, and you know, like I said, because I bought down here, I have no risk involved. Even if Sol does this, I have literally no risk. I'll still be in profit if we come all the way back down to 15 bucks. You know what I'm saying? So even if we come down to 15 bucks and then bam, I'm looking at this more of a long-term play. But right now, if I was looking at Sol, if I wasn't in Sol, if I was on the sidelines of Sol, if I left my Sol on the sideline, I would say the next two opportunities that we would have right now to long Sol, assuming the bullish continuation, is number one, coming back down to a retest of $75. Because if we come back to a retest of $75, this is a massive support resistance flip. It was resistance in August 2021, support in February 2022, and now it's literally been resistance from December 8th until today, I guess, yesterday when we broke out. So if we have a 3-year, 2021, 2022, 2023, support resistance flip, and we've gotten a very, very bullish breakout, if we come back for a retest, this now gives us a pivot area where we can look at the chart and say, I know that when it comes to trading and investing, I should buy low and sell high. And because during the bull market, $75 was low, and during the bear market, $75 was high, now that we're back above this key pivot point, we can look at this now and say this is a low. And so we could potentially play it like this, where when we come back down to test that support, we get into a position like this. All right, something like this. Now this potentially is a pretty good setup because this is giving us around a 4 or 5 to 1 risk reward ratio to hit a take profit 1 at $103, and then a take profit 2, 100% gain at around $160. This is a very valid way to play SOL right now. Haven't gotten this bullish breakout. Obviously, we shouldn't be buying the top after a 50% move on the day, unless you're a gambler, which, hey, but I'm not, okay? So if you're a gambler, that's different than a trader. If you're a trader, when we see something like this, we need to say to ourselves, first of all, number one, is it even worth it for me to be trading this asset right now when there's other things to be trading? Number two, we need to think to ourselves, where is the best risk to reward opportunity that I have given the current market environment? A bullish breakout, parabolic move to the upside. We've been in a parabola, you could technically say, since the end of October. The best opportunity right now, if this is going to continue to the upside, is to come back down and test what used to be resistance as support, get a pullback of about 20%, and then look to take it up to the next two major targets that we have to the upside, right? That is one opportunity. The second opportunity is, let's say we don't get a pullback here. We could say, well, if we don't get a pullback, we could wait for another sign of strength, which is a breakout of our next major area of resistance, and then a back test of this as support. Because here's the thing. Most of the volume throughout SOL's bull market traded in this zone, right? Most of the buying and selling took place in this zone. So what that means is, if we can reclaim the zone where most people were buying and selling, that means then the majority of the volume is now below us, and that is very bullish, and we can look for our next target up here at the low volume node, which lines up very nicely with our golden pocket around $160. So those are two kind of higher term time frame plays I would say with SOL. Let's go down to a lower time frame and take a look at what we got going on. Bullish as heck, man. Now, heck isn't very bullish, especially if you're using it as a replacement word for hell, right? I don't think there's anything bullish about hell or heck, but it's extremely bullish, and it's just a figure of speech that we use for some reason. And now look at this. Volume, value area is, we've already broken out, gotten a retest, higher high, higher low, breakout. So I don't see anything too nice here. Let's pull some more volume. We're going to pull this little chunk. All right, we're going to now pull a Fibonacci from the low to the high. All right, so look at this. We're on a lower time frame. And look at this beautiful confluence that we have here, guys. So we've already established that $75 is a major 3-year support resistance flip on the high time frames. We come down to the low time frame. Now I'm on the 1 hour time frame. And would you look at this? I mean, would you look at this? If we take our Fibonacci retracement tool from the last swing low that we put in to the current swing high, we literally have the Fibonacci golden pocket lining up right there at $75. So there's high and low time frame confluence right now for us coming back down to retest this area right here. Golden pocket, support resistance flip. Let's see what else we got here. Anything else? Value area high, point of control. This is a massive area of confluence around that $75 zone. So I would be waiting, if I was on the sideline of SOL, I would be waiting for a pullback to 75 if I was trying to get into this. All right. How's Bitcoin doing here? We got to keep an eye on our Bitcoin trades, guys. Since, you know, I'd rather eke out a 1% gain on Bitcoin than a 100% gain on SOL. Because I'm set in my ways. I'm like an old dog. I can't learn new tricks, guys. I day trade Bitcoin. That's what I do. I could day trade Bitcoin on autopilot. And so I just do. That's what I do. Trading Bitcoin is my bread and butter in the crypto space. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing better if I was researching altcoins and stuff like that, but I'm playing it safe and I'm playing it slow. All right. Bitcoin doing nothing. Let's check out some other stuff. All right. This is an altcoin season. Now let me say this about altcoin seasons, guys. Most of the time, historically speaking, when we get an altcoin season like this, it means the top is very near for crypto in general. Now, when I say the top, I'm not talking about the top of the bull market. I'm talking about we need to have a pullback for this market to maintain health. Okay? When you see stuff like this, guys, this is not healthy. This is not healthy, all right? We do need pullbacks here. keep in mind, all right? Keep in mind that Bitcoin is coming to major resistance on the high time frames, right? Like, we cannot. Please, guys, how long have we been in crypto now? This is our third market cycle. 4 for some of us. We cannot fall for the same old tricks, okay? This move so far on Bitcoin has been quite unsustainable. And yes, we could pump up to our next area of resistance, but sooner or later we need to have a big pullback. And we know that even in bullish market conditions, it is nothing for Bitcoin to get a 40% pullback. Like, right? It's nothing. It happens all the time, right? I mean, look, this was the last all-time high, right? Bitcoin, extremely bullish rally. Yes, I know it was a black swan event, but let's get rid of the capitulation wick, right? Let's get rid of the capitulation wick, right? This was Bitcoin 2017. We put in the all-time high, right? We had an extremely bullish market, all right? Everyone was convinced, including myself, the bull market was here. We came up 300%. Now, I know we had a black swan event, which is why I'm not even going to include that crazy wick that happened when we dipped down to 3K. But look at this. We had a very clear support at 6K. We had it in 2017, November, in January 2018, in March, in June, in July, in August, in September. It was our support again right here in 2019. And then, you know, we had this very bullish run up, and then we came right back down to test that 6K level. And we actually came down to test it twice if we don't include that that black swan event. And then even after that, once we get the big moves to the upside on Bitcoin, I mean, look at this. Bam! 21% move to the downside. Right here. This happened on Thanksgiving. Bam! 15% move to the downside. This is in the bullish. This is after the halving. This is even after the halving. Along the way up, bam, another 10% move, right? We're still before the halving, right? We're still before the halving. So before the halving last time, we saw a 50% drop. And then we saw another 40% drop if we don't include the black swan. If we include the black swan where we dipped down to 3K, it was a 60% drop. But we don't include that, we had a 50 and a 40% drop, right? And they happen fast, right? They happen pretty fast. So I just want to give a warning, especially because I know there's a lot of new people in my Discord, there's a lot of new people on YouTube getting into crypto. Don't get wrecked. There's so much opportunity right now if you just sit back and come to the drawing board and come up with a plan on how you can best profit in the markets, because if you're just throwing money at stuff because it's pumping, you're probably going to get wrecked. There's a chance you won't, but there's a huge chance you will. All right. I'm sorry for the public service announcement. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got 1,000 people in here. Guys, in the next 7 minutes, if we can get 1,000 likes, we'll be giving away 1,000 to USDT. All right. Man. Shout out to Gaming 2.0. Bitcoin. Wow. All right, let's check out Bitcoin. What's she doing? Is she dumping or pumping? She's doing nothing. She's doing nothing, guys. I could close out both of these trades right now for a $13,000 profit on top of my already almost $10,000. I could close right now, take 23K, but I'm keeping them open, guys, because I'm smoking the hopium. I'm smoking the breakout hopium here. I am smoking the hopium that we are going to hit this next target, this $49,000 to $50,000 level. All right. Theta is ready to run. All right, shout out to my man John Shemansky. John, let's check out Theta, man, because I have a special thing for Theta. My brother, okay, Thomas Casper. Shout out to Thomas. This dude loves him some Theta. All right, this dude loves him some Theta. This dude has so much Theta right now that if it pumps, if it even hits its all-time high from April 2021, he's going to have multi-millions of dollars, like millions and millions of dollars in profit if it pumps. He's extremely big on theta, so I hope for his sake it does well. All right, let's take a look at theta, because theta is one of those coins that could have a massive pump. You know, right now we have 1,000% gains to the upside, and you know, I mean, look at this. Let's do a little theta analysis. We were doing a little bit before, but this coin is actually looking kind of nice right now. I'll tell you why. All right, we're gonna start in the daily time frame. Actually, we'll start in the weekly time frame. Theta has done what Bitcoin did at $15,500, which is price has made a lower low. I love you. All right, price has made a lower low, and over here on Market Cipher B, we have made a nice BitBoy green dot, deep momentum wave, and then a shallow momentum wave. Okay, and we have also seen the money flow get higher over time. Yes, the uneven butt cheek pattern, the juicy left cheek and the skinny right butt cheek, as can be seen right here on the chart. You can see it for yourself. Look at those juicy cheeks. And you know what they say, it don't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek, baby. Oh yeah. Now look, that is a macro bottom signal. That is a macro bottom signal. I would be shocked if theta revisits its low. I would be shocked. I don't think it will happen. We are printing also a red dot on the weekly with a money flow cross. What does this mean? This means if we get a pullback, it's a good time to be looking for buys, okay? I'm not telling anybody to buy. We can't guarantee it's gonna pump. But when you see a bullish divergence on the weekly with a big BitBoy green dot, money flow getting thicker, uneven butt cheek patterns, this is bullish, okay? The red dot on the weekly, let's see if we can't get a little bit of a pullback. All right, let's pull some fibs here from low to high. Oh man. Oh dang. Well, here's the thing, guys. I'll be honest with you. We are bouncing from the 382 Fibonacci. I would love to see theta get a little bit of a dip down just to take out these lows here. I'll tell you, I would love to just come back down to the low of this little range that we have going on right here. In a perfect world, and it might not happen because we are bouncing from that 382, which is quite bullish, we would get a move back down to this area here, and we would get a bounce. We would take the liquidity, because keep in mind, a lot of people, this is the 2-day time frame, right? So for the past month and a half, people have been putting their stop losses under here and under here. So again, right, the way markets move is the big players that move the market, when they have a lot of money, they can't just randomly buy and sell. They need a lot of buyers and sellers. If they want to buy, they need a lot of sellers, right? So if we get a move to the downside, when these stop losses get hit on the order book, that will be a sell order. It will provide liquidity back into the market and will open up for people to step in with a lot of money and buy, right? And also, when we look at this in general, we can say to ourselves, we have come back up inside the value area low of the range. This was our support, basically from October 2022, then we flipped it into resistance. Now we've broken out, and we haven't even necessarily come back for a true retest. So if we start to get a move down from the high volume node of the range, we can now say with quite certainty that this is very strong support. We were in a downtrend, a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. Well, that's a bad example. A high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Now we've made our first higher high. We have taken out that last lower high in the downtrend. Now this is tipping us off. Trend reversal. we've officially changed market structure. We used to be making lower lows and lower highs. Now we've just made a higher high. So if we're gifted with a pullback after changing market structure, we look to long a higher low in an uptrend. This is a sign of strength. And so what we can do is we can say, where is that higher low likely to come in? Well, we have a massive confluence right here. Because again, we have the value area low of the range, meaning if theta comes down to this level, it will be considered undervalued. In addition to that, we have the Fibonacci golden pocket level, which is really one of the most reactive levels that you could have, right? And so theta, we could potentially get in something like this. And we only have to put our stop loss at negative 90%. Just kidding. I mean, you know, we could really just look to long the bottom of the range to the top of the range. It's a very nice trade setup right here. But really, we also need to keep in the back of our minds the fact that theta, and this is on log scale, right? This is on log scale, but we could even take it off log scale. Actually, I'll put it back on log scale. Put it back on log scale. Theta has broken out, guys, of this, okay? We have broken out of this. This is a diagonal resistance that we have been trading for quite some time, over a year and a half. So the fact that we've broken out is very, very bullish. We haven't really necessarily come back for a retest yet. It would be nice to get a retest where we come back and just dip under it. That would be very bullish in my opinion, right into this zone. And then we could take it to the high of the range. But really what I would want to see eventually, because we've broken out of this resistance, we would get gravitated up toward the next major support resistance flip, which is around $2.25. That's the last support we had before the big drop, right? So you guys kind of see what we've got going on here, right? We've got ourselves somewhat of a wedge pattern, a bullish falling wedge pattern. We've broken out. That's a very big sign of strength. We've changed market structure on these high term time frames. And now we can look to get in on a retest. Now here's a thing. Here's a thing, right? When we're looking at coins, like we're looking at Solana, Solana's all the way up here right now, okay? Solana, we're looking at Solana all the way like, hang on, my trading views messed up. We're looking at Solana. Solana's already up here, right? She's already up here. We already missed that move on Solana. Right now with theta, this is one of those opportunities where we have not missed the move, right? We have not missed the move yet. So there's a few ways you could do this. If you like to take ninja trade entries like your boy and like to wait for the perfect setups, well, you could wait for a pullback. If you're bullish on theta in general, you could say, well, you know what? I'm going to start hodling because I'm seeing a sign of strength right here. Maybe I'll start to DCA in, and even if, let's say, we do get a big pullback again before the bull market really kicks off, well, this is still a really good opportunity to start DCAing because it's showing us, it's showing you a sign of strength. It's showing you a sign of strength on the chart, right? If we hit our all-time high, that's 100% gains, all right? That means if you start to accumulate theta now, that is showing a sign of strength. In my opinion, it's showing a very clear bottom signal and sign of strength. If you start accumulating now, we know the upward potential is much, 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 much greater than the downward potential, right? In my opinion, there's enough evidence here to say we've bottomed out. This is not financial advice, but this is just my opinion as a sweaty guy in a treadmill. But yeah, look, and if we surpass the all-time high, nobody would say, oh, how stupid to buy theta right here, right? No, we saw that we were breaking out of this wedge, you know? So yeah, if you're looking for an actual leveraged trade, I would wait for a pullback. If you're looking to accumulate this on spot and you're on the sideline, I would say this is not necessarily a bad time to start accumulating, because even if, let's say we do buy here and we drop, and you keep accumulating in this area, you're still accumulating in this zone. And because we see the macro bottom signals, we can be pretty confident that this bottom zone is the bottom zone. And that whatever we get from here now is going to be gains on that investment, which is not financial advice. So yeah, for my brother's sake, I really hope that theta does well. You know what I'm saying? All right, shout out to Davey for the super chat. God bless you, man. All right, we'll check out Ren. Let's see if there's any other super chats in here, because my software doesn't tell me anymore. I have to fix it. Shout out to Dave Digital. Well, shout out to you, man. God bless you. What's Billy Goat Tales? I have to check that out. I've heard that. I've heard you talk about it. What is that? I have to check it out. I'm not hip with what the cool kids are into these days. All right, shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to my man Davey Christian NH for the super chat. All right, Ren. We're gonna check out Ren. All right, Bitcoin. Everyone, what's up with Bitcoin? What's Bitcoin doing now? She's pumping, baby. Wow. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Look at that 1 minute candle. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, let's do a little Bitcoin analysis real quick. Okay, Bitcoin trading this sideways range. All right, we got our value area high, at least on MEXC, our value area low. Let's go ahead and pull a fib, high to low. All right, we're soon to come up to the fib. Oh wait, we already came up to that fib and we got a rejection from it. We put in a higher low. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we're above the high volume node right now. That's a very bullish candle. Let's see what happened on the order book here. Was that... Why did we pump like that? Oh, wow. So we had a whole bunch of longs actually open up. We had a few million longs open, and we also had, obviously, shorts getting squeezed here. And as you can see, we're coming back into the VWAP. And right here, we had 1.2 million longs open up right here, right into the VWAP. Definitely not a good idea to long the VWAP, but let's check out Market Cipher quickly here. Let's go to our 6 minute. Ooh, 6 minute bullish div that we got down here on Market Cipher. Interesting. Let's check out our 12 minute. No bullish div on the 12. Let's check out our 3 minute. The 3 minute actually gave us a really, really nice bullish divergence here. Let's see what happens here. This is our mini range. We're above POC. That kind of candle is a bit unsustainable, but here's the thing. We did change structure. So if we come back down toward this area, this now should hold. If we want to see it, if we want to see this move continue, we need to hold around 43,560. It's the high volume node of this consolidation, and it's the local golden pocket. And if not, we'll probably see lower because we are below VWAP right now. So VWAP, important level. Very important to see what happens here. Shorts absolutely wrecked on that pump. We do see some longs opening up. So if we can see more longs opening up, then that could push us through. Come on, longs. Let's pump the Bitcoin straight to 100K, baby. All right, let's check out Ren. That reminds me of a joke that I used to tell. How did you guys get here so fast? Oh, we ran. Ha. We ran real fast. Alright, so this is on log scale. Is that not the funniest joke you ever heard? Is that not literally not the most hilarious joke? Come on. I crack myself up. Alright, look at Ren right now. Okay. Now, shout out to everybody who longed Ren right here and rode that scam wick up about 7,000%. Can you imagine? Now look, I'll bet you guys have done this before. I've done this before, right? Where you try to, like, let's say you set a limit order at like 43,500, and you actually set the limit order at 4,350, and then you don't see your limit order. You're like, what the heck? So you set another limit order, and you don't realize that you set that limit order. We've all done that, right? Well, I'll bet you some people got filled on that Ren dip. Okay, that was Rendipity. This is on log scale, guys. We have this falling wedge, all right? Target of the falling wedge is going to be up here. Man, I don't know anything about Ren, right? I had to I ran really fast to the charts when I heard that this coin was potentially going to run. But if this thing breaks out right now, we are talking about gains of 600, 700%. All right, if this thing breaks out. Let's put on market cipher B. Okay, so we don't have really bullish divergences here. Not really. Slight bullish divs here. Nothing too significant. Okay. So, if we want to plan this thing, we have two options, right? Option number one is much more low-key. Option number one is saying, well, we have this wedge, which means if I'm going to accumulate on spot in this wedge, you know, that means, look, we're, depending on how long this wedge goes on for, if we start accumulating now, we have a zone of about 50% to accumulate in. We could get our average entry in, maybe around here or whatever, if we get another drop down and keep trading the wedge. And that's giving us then, potentially, you know, 900% gains, all right? Nothing to scoff at. That's a real low key. Like, if you believe that Ren is gonna run, because I don't know a dang thing about Ren. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And I don't really care, right? Because I only am a technical trader only. I only look at the charts. If this is your DCA zone, we have not yet broken out, right? Again, people looking at Sol, people looking at Chainlink. Sol and Chainlink are already here, okay? So if we're trying to make money on the coins that are already pumped, what are we going to do? Maybe we'll get a few more gains out of them, but if we're looking at coins like this and thinking to ourselves, what's my plan for this? Now we're talking about 1,000%, close to 1,000% gains, all right? So this is one option right here. Just start to accumulate this thing because we know the upward potential is much more than the downward potential. Even if we don't hit all-time highs, the target of this wedge is still 1,000% to the upside, right? Our target of the wedge is the top of the wedge. Some people do like this. It's about the same, all right? It's about the same. Target of our wedge, top of the wedge. The second thing to do would be to wait for a sign of strength, all right? If you don't want to, it's a little bit more gambling now because obviously we're at historic resistance, right? So we might come back down to the bottom of the wedge before a breakout, right? So you have to be okay with accumulating potentially in drawdown, right? Not leveraged on spot. But if we're looking for a leveraged play or something like that, then we need to wait for a sign of strength, which in my opinion would be a break of the resistance and a retest, right? So if we get a break of the resistance and a retest, then look at this. I mean, let's, I do have a bad habit of drawing lines and then the price does what I draw. But look, I'm half joking. I'm half serious. Right, like the Bitcoin short trade that I'm in right now, right? We drew it, it happened. I'm still in it. I'm still holding that Bitcoin short from the top, kind of as a hedge, but also understanding we might dump and it might happen quick. So look, if we get the breakout, then we can look to long the retest of the trend line. We'd be looking for the golden pocket zone, right? We'd be looking for that area, and then we'd look to do something like this, right? We'd look to long the breakout of the trend line and the retest. And then we could shoot for the target and beyond, right? Those are really the two options I see here. Either a little bit more chill approach is say, you know what? Eventually this thing will break out. We're heading into the halving. We know we're heading into a crypto bull market in general. There's a good chance that the bottom is in for a lot of these coins, and even if the bottom's not in, there's a good chance that any dips we have are buy the dip opportunities just because of the 4-year market cycle. Alright? Now, I know some people say, oh, but Jason, this time's different. Global recession, wars, and rumors of wars, and, you know, pestilence, and earthquakes, and famines, and diverse places, and all these Matthew 24 things. Well, look, here's the thing. If you think that crypto has no future, right? If you think that crypto has no future, what the heck? What, wait, hang on. Hang on. If you think that crypto has no future, then you have no business even being in this dang live stream, alright? If you think that there's no bull market coming because of the recession and the wars and all this, then just close the dang stream and go do something else, right? Because we have to take something for granted, right? Any investment we do involves a risk, and the risk is calculated based on saying, what do I think is more probable to happen? For me, I say it's more probable that we will get another bull market. And so I'm taking for granted the fact that the bull market is happening, right? So when I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, we know the bear market's over based on the 4-year cycle, based on the macro bullish signs we have on the high time frames. If we get a pullback now in crypto, it's actually time to buy the dip. Most people, when they get into crypto, they get in around here. And they're like, yeah, bro, just buy the dip. Buy the dip. And they buy the dip a few times, it works, right? They buy the dip the second time, whoops. Buy the dip the third time, whoops. Buy the dip the fourth time, whoops, right? Because they get in when the pump already happened. But if we're getting in now, then buy the dip, bro, actually works. Because we know we're kind of at the bottom, right? So that's what I'm taking for granted here. And yeah, option number 1, DCA, hold for a new high, potentially to make over 1,000% profits, right? Potentially to make over 2,000%. Option number 2, wait for a sign of strength, wait for the breakout, wait for the retest. This is like more of a maybe like a leverage trade, lower leveraged position that you could take here, right? That's kind of how I feel about Ren. It's looking kind of nice. I'm going to make a note of Ren. I might pick up some Ren. Let's see what... Ren, Theta. I'm digging Ren, Theta. There were a few other ones I was looking at too. I better save these. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. What movie are we talking about in here? This guy's tired of rug pull coins and copy coins. Well, you know what? That's one of the main reasons why I'm mostly in Bitcoin. I'll be honest, the large majority of my portfolio is Bitcoin. And then it's the big altcoins, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Solana, Matic, AVAX, Polygon, which is Matic, right? Can't think of the others now. Oh, I got the basic meme coins. I got PP coin, Dogecoin, Shib coin. That's pretty much my portfolio, honestly. It is what it is, you know. But yeah, I agree, Bitcoin. But you can't really make life-changing money in Bitcoin anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was 2 cycles ago, you know, or 3 cycles ago. Now the only way to make crazy money with a few $1,000s and turn it into something that's like crazy is you gotta go with the altcoins now. The ravioli? I love ravioli. Shout out to Pegless talking about ravioli. What's my plan if the world shuts down? Well, Miguel, and that's a complicated question, you know, because there's a lot of layers to the world shutting down. I'll take it as it comes, my friend. But, you know, this is why I am a homesteader. This is why I'm 100% off the electric grid, off the solar grid, besides my internet connection. I'm 100% solar powered. I've got the Tesla walls. I've got the panels. I've got the generators. I have my own water source. I grow my own food. I raise my own animals. And, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to do my best. You know what I'm saying? If the world shuts down, then yeah, Bitcoin won't matter. And that's why I'm a big proponent of taking profits. That's why I sold Bitcoin at 38K to buy some stuff for the homestead. You know? Yeah, it could happen, but here's the thing, Miguel, and I'll be honest with you. I don't think the internet's going to go down. I don't think there's going to be some kind of an EMP attack. I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because the way they control us right now is through the media and electricity. And if that goes down, they can't control us, you know? They need some guy in the TV to tell us what to put on our face and stuff like that, what to think and how to feel. And one of the main ways they do that is through the internet. So I have a feeling it's going to stick around for a while. Okay? Shout out to all my super chatters in here. Shout out to Call Sign. He says, I'm long. 41.8. Shooting for 49K. Love the stream. Love the teaching. Well, God bless you. Check on Verge. Haven't heard of Verge for a while. Alright, let's see. We got some other super chats in here. Shout out to Brett 2 cents. He says, do a flip or DYDX. Alright, so we'll check out Verge and DYDX. Shout out to Terrence Davis for the super chat. What do I think about end of the year? Solana $500 to $800? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think by the end of the year we'll see Solana at $500 to $800. I really don't think that, man. Are you talking about the end of 2024? End of 2024, for sure. End of 2023? No, heck no. Heck no. I don't see that. Could it happen? Of course. Will it happen? I don't know. Are you holding a lot of SOL? If you are, then I hope for your sake it happens, man. I hope for your sake, if we go to 800 and you make 763%, I hope that happens to you. I really do. Shout out to Singularity. VRA. Yeah, we'll take a look at VRA. And shout out to Davey. Yeah, we're going to take a look at DYDX, man. Casper? You want to look at Casper? We could look at Casper. Yeah, we could look at Casper. Explain cross and isolated margin. So, isolated margin just means you're isolating some of your margin, right? Margin just means how much money are you actually putting up for collateral, right? Because when we trade futures, I'm not trading Bitcoin here. I'm literally betting on what the price of Bitcoin is going to do in the future. And the winners pay the losers, right? And so what I do is I put up capital as collateral. I put up margin as collateral. And if I'm wrong, the collateral I put up goes to pay the guy who traded against me. It's like betting against a baseball game or whatever you young kids are into nowadays. I guess all you guys are into fighting now. MCH and CSV and what is it? What is it? All these dang altcoins now. I can't remember. MMA. There you go. MMA. What's the other one? There's another one, right? I don't know. Whatever you kids are into, all right? I don't watch any kind of sport. I don't have time for that, right? But it's like betting on one of the sports ball games. So right now you can see I'm in a trade. I have $113,000 on the trade, all right? But my collateral, my margin that I have on the trade, is only $3,948 US. Isolated, okay? That means of all the capital that I have currently in my account, I actually don't know how much I have in this account right now. $41,000 total in my account, okay? If this trade gets liquidated, I'm isolating only $3,900 worth of my margin, and that's all I will lose. This trade could get totally liquidated, and out of the $40,000 I have in my account, I only lose $4,000, all right? Because I'm isolating $3,900 worth of capital, and I'm leveraging it up to equal $113,000. And if I get liquidated, this is all I lose. Cross margin is where you're not isolating anything. The trade will keep going against you, and it will keep using more and more of your capital until your entire account gets wiped out. That's the difference. I like to use only isolated, because when it comes to trading, I like to put as many roadblocks in my way of making stupid decisions as possible. And that's one of the reasons why I use higher leverage. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I don't have time to explain it now. But yeah, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, I lose $4,000 on this trade, okay? I'm not going to lose $4,000 on this trade because of other reasons, stop losses and things of that nature. Calculating the stop loss, right? This trade is not ever going to get liquidated. I have no risk of liquidation, but isolated margin means you're taking a bit of your margin, you're isolating it onto that trade, and that's the only thing you can lose. Cross means, you know, you could lose everything. You could lose everything. So that's the main difference. All right, let's take a look at these altcoins. All right. Do you pay a lot of fees with higher leverage? Here's the thing. You don't necessarily pay more fees with higher leverage. The fee you pay has to do with your position size. It has nothing to do with your leverage. So if I'm using 100x or I'm using 5x, if I enter a trade with $200,000, I'm paying 0.015% on $200,000. It doesn't matter if I'm using 5x, it doesn't matter if I'm using 100x, it doesn't matter if I'm using 200x. You pay the fee on whatever position size you put on that trade. So if you only have $100, you know, and you're 100x leveraging it, that fee is going to be a lot more of your account. If you're putting your whole account on the trade, right, that fee is going to be way much more of your total account than it should be because you're gambling and not trading. But if you're actually using good risk management and calculating your position size based on your stop loss, then it doesn't matter what leverage you're using. You will pay lower fees with cross margin though. Isolated does have higher fees on many exchanges. Yeah. You also have to take into account the funding rate and all this. You know, look, fees are a thing to keep in mind here. So for this trade here, I have lost the trading fee. This is my trading fee that I paid on the trade, 0.00096 Bitcoin. And I paid 0.0096 Bitcoin in funding fees, holding this long trade here that I opened up, I don't remember when. And then this long trade here, I paid $400 holding this trade in funding fees and $16 in the actual trading fee. But my total closed P&L is $4,900. So that's around $4,500 total profit even with the fees. But then you got this short trade that I've been holding, and I'm actually getting paid to hold this short trade. Right? I got paid $800 to hold this short trade because right now the funding fee is paying shorts. So basically my long trades that I'm paying the fee on is paying my short. So if you can get yourself in a nice long position hedged like this, then you're paying yourself with those funding fees, you know? All right. Let's check out the coins that we are going to look at here. Verge. All right. Verge on the weekly, baby. Wow. That is nice. That's a nice bullish change of market structure. We don't have a bullish divergence on the weekly, but we printed a nice bottom. And now we are consolidating. So let's go to the daily. And we did get a very, very nice bullish divergence here on the daily with this low. And from that point on, money flow is coming to the upside. So this is a nice break here. So this is a nice break. Okay, we had this resistance once, twice, 3 times. We tried to break out. We did break out. We came back down for the retest, and now we're consolidating. Let's pull the volume. Okay, so we're at the high volume node right here. Wow. All right, so the hard part is now. Let's take this off log scale. The hard part right now is, like, where do we look for an entry, right? Because we're at support. We're at support. So we have to ask ourselves, do we want to buy here? I'll tell you this. Let's take a look at this range. Okay. I actually, here's what I see here. I see liquidity being built to the downside. I see liquidity being built to the downside here. What I mean by that is, a lot of people are probably looking at this and saying, this is bullish. Let's buy this area for the breakout. Now, meanwhile, we have a low, we have 2 higher lows, we have another higher low, and we have another higher low. That means we are building stop losses down here, which means if we start to take these stop losses, we could get a stop hunt wick. Right? So if I'm looking for, like, the highest probability setups here to get into Verge, I sound a little bit like Bill Gates when I said Verge, then I would want to see these people get stop hunted. And I would then look to get in on a reclaim of this. That's honestly what I would look for. Let's take a look now at some more local volume. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would say this. Like, I would want to see price dip down into this area here. And then I would want to, basically, I would want to see that happening. And then once the price comes back up inside of this range, right here, right? Then I would say that's a buy. I would say that's a buy. Because what we want to see is basically a stop hunt and a buyback. Once we see that stop hunt and a quick buyback, we are seeing bullish divergences forming here on market cipher B. Then in general, we buy once we get the bounce. Stop loss under that low. We could target the value area high of the range. That's an 85% gain. That's not a bad setup. And then, of course, I mean, look. This thing could, I mean, its all-time high here was 3.67 cents. I don't know much about Verge. I don't know, okay? But potentially, we're looking at 1,000% gains here, right? Potentially. Assuming that this would be the bottom, all right? If this is not the bottom, if you're still bullish on Verge, to me, this was a very nice bottom and a very nice change of structure here. And so I would be surprised if we put in another low, but even if we do put in another low, I would say that could give us a nice bullish div on the weekly. And so a more conservative way to look at this, if you're bullish on Verge for the bull run, right? I don't know what this thing is, but you could say, look, because I see a sign of strength here, I'm going to start to DCA, even if we get a dip, you know, even if we put in another low, I'll average out my position down in this area here, because I know that the upward potential right now is literally 1,000%, and so it's worth the risk, right? 1,000%. You know, you put 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks in there, you make 1,000%. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. So it's like a 10x right there. Yeah, interesting, interesting. I'll have to say this. It doesn't really look as bullish at the bottom as Theta did, because Theta had that weekly divergence, if you know what I'm saying. Theta had that weekly div. All right. All right, Dot is breaking out. Yeah, Polkadot is breaking out right now. Polkadot's breaking out of its wedge, of its falling wedge. All right, we do have some other coins to look at from the super chats. BingX or MEXC. So I like to use BingX. I trade on BingX for stocks and Forex. For stocks and Forex, because I trade the S&P 500 on BingX and NASDAQ on BingX, and if I want to trade stocks and if I want to trade Forex pairs, I could do it on BingX using my tether as margin. So it's pretty nice in that respect. But if you're trading Bitcoin, I prefer to use MEXC because the fees are the lowest in the game, really. The fees are the lowest in the game. And if you hold 1,000 MX tokens, then they'll cut the market fee in half. They'll cut that market fee in half. All right, let's see what else we got to look at here. DYDX. We already looked at it a little bit before. A few days ago. All right. So DYDX, we came up to the May 2022 order block. We got a little rejection from it. We're back down inside the value area of the range. Personally, I would like to see a move down toward either the $2.50 golden pocket high volume node or the value area low at around $2.01 to $2. Those are going to be my two areas where I would definitely be looking for a buy. And the reason why is because we have, number one, formed a pretty nice, if we take a look at let's go to the weekly. I mean, the weekly has given us a nice bullish div here, bullish divergence, trigger wave, money flow crossover, and now we have change of market structure, right? We have legit change of market structure. We've taken out the previous high, and so now we could say we look for that higher low for continuation, and we would look for it right here where we have POC, value area low, golden pocket, a daily level, 786, and the value area low. So I would be looking around 250 and then around $2 if this thing is going to continue bullishly. If we lose that, well, then we're back down at the low anyway. So if we're looking to buy it on spot, once again, this is a good example of something that has a lot more upward than downward potential, right? All-time highs, almost 1,000% gains. So I would say our next major target here is going to be a 300% gain because these highs look like garbage, right? Price could so easily just squeeze through that to this support resistance flip at around $10. So that's my view on DYDX. DYDX. All right, let's check out VRA. All right, so look, VRA is forming this pattern here. We don't have a sign of strength. We don't have a bullish divergence. So I would just wait personally for this to break the resistance. Or if we lose the support, then we could maybe look for a nice bullish divergence on the weekly. So if we lose the triangle, and then we come back into the triangle with a bullish divergence on the weekly, that, in my opinion, is a very clear buy, right? Because we have seen a liquidity hunt with a bullish divergence and a recount of support that is a buy on a high time frame like this, right? Very chill, very low key. You know, you could wait days to watch and see what happens. You don't have to be sitting there in the moment on the 5 second thinking, should I go in? And then honestly, target could be the low volume node, the target of the triangle. That's a 250% gain right there. Option number 2 is wait for the breakout and the retest, right? Let's say that we don't get that liquidity grab. We come down for another low, breakout, retest, get in upon the retest. Or you could say, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit more of a risk and long the bottom of the triangle again. There's nothing wrong with that, because we know that this triangle has been respected. So we could say, you know what? That's an 80% gain right there. Nothing to scoff at. But in general, this thing, if it reaches this all-time high again, we're looking at the potential of 1,600% gains, right? So again, depending on how you want to approach this, if you want a DCA while we're in this triangle, telling yourself, you know, while we're in this triangle, this is my buy zone. If we put in a lower low, you might buy more aggressively. If you see that we dip down and then reclaim with a bullish divergence, you could say, all right, this is my signal. Let's go, baby. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is paper trading only. I'm not a financial advisor, and I only paper trade with fake money, and so should you. Okay, the purpose of life is to avoid all risks at all costs. That's literally the purpose of life, is to avoid all risks so that we don't die. Right? The purpose of life is to avoid all risks. And trading is very risky, which is why I recommend trading only with fake money. And I only like to look at the charts for entertainment purposes. And I am an entertainer. The category of my channel is entertainment. And I am not a financial advisor. And if for any reason you think this is financial advice, okay, I'm gonna show you an image right now, and let this image be forever burned into your mind that you thought this was financial advice. Take a screenshot right now, and if you do anything I say and it doesn't go your way, you're gonna look at this picture and realize it was a bad idea to think this was financial advice, okay? So, that being said, yeah, you know, for paper trading purposes, there's a lot more upward potential than downward potential on this thing. All right, what else we got to look at? Caspa. Hey, yo, Jason Caspa. All right, let's see what we got. Well, would you look at this, guys? I mean, it looks like the long setup that I gave for free is playing out, so. Is it playing out? No, it got front run by $1. Are you kidding me? It got front run. Wow, okay. Well, the idea played out. We were looking to take these highs, and then we were looking to come down to make a higher low and then get a pump. And that's what's happened. But we did front run the level that I gave by 0.8%. And that's exactly why this is not financial advice, you know? It's kind of good, but not really. You know what I'm saying? So, alright, the general idea has played out here. The general idea has played out. Again, why was I looking for something like this to play out? Because we were waiting for a sign of strength on Caspa locally to get in. And a sign of strength would have been to take out this high, which we did. And then we'd look for the retracement and the higher low. And typically, I like to get that higher low at the value area low of the golden pocket. Let's see. Did we have some value area shift during that time? Did we actually bounce from our value area low? Yeah. Yeah, we had some value area no, actually, we still front ran. We still front ran. Let's see here. We still front ran. Alright, well, we front ran. So here's the thing. Locally, I would say, look, the potential long on Caspa that we were looking at on Monday, December 18th, that long trade has been front run. And I would say this. We are rejecting from the value area low of this range right here. So that is not a good look for Caspa right now. That is not a good look for Caspa. We could say that Caspa has changed market structure on the higher term time frames, right? So this long trade that didn't get triggered, unfortunately, because we never came down to that level that we were looking at, right? We front ran. We do need to be aware that if we start to get a big move to the upside right now on Caspa, we need to be aware of the Fibonacci levels to the upside, right? We do need to be aware that we could come up and do something like this now and make another lower high, right? We have our high, our low, our lower high, and now we've officially made a lower low. So we do need to be aware of continued downside, which means even if this trade does come back up inside the value area low, right? And even all the way up to the value area high, we need to be aware that this is now major resistance at around 14 cents, right? But yeah, I'd say unfortunately, the long trade that we're looking for already happened right here. And that's a bummer that we didn't play it out. So let's go to the 4 hour here. Okay. Yeah, this is like a really awkward place right now for Caspa because assuming this is a nice bottom and a change of structure, then we missed the long trade. If this is going to continue to the downside more, I would want to get more of a pullback here before we look for a short trade. And we also have to acknowledge that unless we take out this low, we haven't really done anything bearish on the higher term time frames. So really, I would either want to long from lower here or short from higher. I don't like what's happened now because the idea I was looking at has already played out. And so that's a missed opportunity right now. But this is the general idea and it still stands, all right? If you got into a long trade on that pullback, I'd still say this was a beautiful TP1 at value area low, TP2 around POC, golden pocket around 12, 13 cents, TP3, 14 cents. Depending on how you manage your open trades and risk. And then, of course, if we reclaim that, we look for a new high. Shout out to Johnny Ploney. Shout out to the Fish. He only demo trades. Me too. Shout out to Brett 2 cents. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my man Lee Crypto. Can we look at JTO? All right, that'll be our last one. Shout out to Live Life Free. Okay, yeah, Live Life Free. We already. Yeah, all right. We'll take a look at JTO, and then we're gonna head out, y'all. Cause I got stuff to do. Let's take a look at JTO. Wow. Okay, so all I can say about JTO is that we've been listed for a few days on Binance. Let's see if we have it on any other exchanges. No, listed for a few days. I have nothing to say about this thing. Is it gonna pump or dump? I have no idea. The only thing we can do is say if it's gonna. Wow, look at that. Looks like someone wants to short this thing. I would say this, like, I would honestly look to short it. I don't know what it is. If we came up to the golden pocket, maybe look for a short. There's no way to look for a long on this right now. We have nowhere to pull a fib from. We don't have much to work with. Let's go to the 1 hour. We're in local downtrend. We front ran the golden pocket twice. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It's not a good coin to trade. There's not enough data here. There's not really enough data. So I don't know anything about it. So it's not really something I can comment on. Shout out to Jagged Mountain. God bless you, Jagged Mountain. So good to see you here after all these years. Shout out to Divine Hood. God bless you, bro. Hope you have a very happy time with your family and everything the next few weeks. Alright guys, I'm going to head out. May God bless everybody in Jesus' name. Look, even if you're not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May He shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you wholeness. Make sure to like the dang stream. And I'll see you guys probably next week. Peace.